Hi, everyone, and welcome to the September Pilot to Watch. I am Jacob Blaeser with AirVuz, joined as always by my friend out in New York. What's up?
What up, everybody? Always good to be here, people.
And his name is
This
Juan,
guy
by the way.
here.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Juan.
I was trying to do something cool. It did not work out at all. So I'm just going to do it this way. You may have seen this guy on NBC Sports earlier, or I guess late last week. His name is Fluxyfpv. Fluxy, what is going on?
Hello,
sir.
So Flux, let's talk about that for a second. Another year of DRL, but it's back in action in person. You guys are back in action for a lot of your races this year. It kicked off last week in our hometown in Minneapolis. How did it feel to sort of just get back in the thick of things?
It felt great to get back into it, right? Like, we want to race in real life, so it was amazing to be back on the sticks, flying in real life. And it's an amazing group of pilots. Like, This season will, hands down, you'll see the best drone racing you've ever seen in your life. For sure.
I'll attest to that. Even at this first race, of course, we're all on Team Fluxy, but as he mentioned, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. These kids are freaking good. Like, they're not just sim pilots. They are good. And that last race, it was a nail biter. And it's one of those you just sort of like are, even if you're not into drone racing, it's one of those, if you have any competitive nature in you at all, it's one of those super fun things to watch. I would totally, can I say this? I would totally do betting on that 100%. So I don't know. I'm in Minnesota. I don't think I can say that in Minnesota because we can't do sports betting.
I don't know if you can say it in New York, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So it was fun.
Bet 365, baby.
Yeah, no crap.
Man.
No bleeps.
No, but you know what? Going on what you said, bro. These kids they're on something else. They're on a whole different level. And I mean, like I said, I was mentioning to you guys, I'm not a big social media guy, but I follow Vanover. I've seen for a while. These guys are doing 100 packs a day practicing. Yeah. Like, I can't even believe that. And I don't even know what Evan's doing, but I know that he's in pretty much every single race that pops out on social media. He's in there, And I haven't heard much about Alex, but these two guys are just going at it. And Evan literally just graduated high school. Like, he had pictures of his prom not too long ago. Yeah. Now my man's on DRL. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to make this a soapbox for DRL, but it is awesome. It's super cool to see it back. And I think that's it. It's on a major channel on NBC Sports. Everybody knows NBC Sports. And they call it a show, and it 1,000,000% was a show. Like, they get in the faces of these pilots. They talk to them. It's so much more than the racing. And once again, I don't want to spoil it.
Dude,
Fluxy,
drone racing on NBC. How awesome is that?
Fluxy's if you don't know Fluxy like we do, he's a personality. So of course he's going to be even a bigger personality on TV.
I love it. I love it.
There's a new guy you guys have to check out. So just check it out. Drone Racing League, probably every week now. Catch their schedule on their social medias, their home, all that. All right, you're welcome. I'm glad. No, I'm just kidding. I got the DRL in there. It's great, but no, Flux. Let's have a good year.
Yeah,
Flux. You got this year, bro.
But right now, speaking of great pilots, this is the pilot to watch of the month. So we're gonna see some great videos. You guys just went over them again. They're the top 5 of the month for FPV. A lot of creativity as usual. A lot of different styles of flying in here as well. Of course we see that cinematic stuff. We always see it. And you just almost have to put it in. We're trying really hard to separate it. But when you get some of these really, 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 really good FPV videos, it would be a disservice to the FPV industry, I think, if some of these weren't in there. So I've already been speaking a lot. Like, let's get into it. And we'll get it kicked off with Clark Lupton. This is a dude that has been on AirVuz from the time he was flying his Phantom, I believe. Got into FPV about a year ago. And I tell you what, make the most of your opportunities, because this guy got permission to fly at Rolling Loud, which is one of the biggest music festivals in the country. He flew around Jack Harlow, I know, but this video right here is his flight around Megan the Stallion, which if we didn't put it in this, once again, it'd be a disservice because she has millions and millions of followers. So when Megan the Stallion sees this episode, she better share this. So, from an FPV standpoint, Juan, what did you see on the flying here? What goes through your head?
It brings me so much joy every time I see a quad in these situations, you know, where we are today versus where we were 3 years ago or 2 years ago even. And now we're flying in concerts, you know, and not just that, you're flying in a concert, you're going up, diving the Ferris wheel, coming back around, getting a little bit of twerking, then you're going down the runway, the colors are on fire. So like it's incredible. It's incredible. I can't believe we're here. Like it leaves me in a state of awe of where we're gonna be 6 months and a year from now, you know. So definitely tip my hat to Clark, because my man, you're on the forefront of all this, you know. So good on you, bro.
Flux, you know, this is something we've been lucky enough to film this year as well, this summer, and the coordination on the yes and the no and the so, that I should say the miscommunication that happens before is crazy. Like, you need to coordinate this thing months in advance, so you probably know what's going through his head when he finally gets the okay to fly around one of the biggest performers in the world. Yeah,
I mean, we've spent multiple festivals and shows this summer trying to get the okay for multiple people to do this. Mm-hmm. We've gotten it a couple of times, and as soon as you get it, it's like it is probably one of the scariest things in the world, because you're like, wow, I have this shot, right? And like, this has to go on this first shot, and I have to do it right now. Mm-hmm. And you know, the pressure's there a little bit, but it always makes it a little more fun, I think. Yeah. At least for me.
Yeah. No, yeah,
absolutely. I mean, get the blood pumping.
Flying, it's more of the stress of just like, we got to make this or we'll never do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy, right? How much pressure is on these shots, because if you don't get it, somebody is right there behind you waiting to get that shot, and they're going to hire him every time after that. It's insane.
And it's scary to know that you have an influence over a whole industry sort of too, because if he hits Megan Thee Stallion there and that video blows up, there's going to be a lot of people that say, I don't want drones on the stage anymore.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's going through his head. Definitely goes through our head, but yeah, I mean,
not me. No? I hit a Peloton actor.
Oh, nice.
My Cinewhoop.
We know a certain guy
was
who
telling me, he was like, get close, get on him. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he was standing still, and I just tapped him, but I tapped the Peloton actor.
Nice. We know a certain person that might have cut a finger of a very famous skateboarder, but we won't talk about that right now. So
no, it's okay.
But it's all good. Things happen, and I'm as long as people understand that things will happen sometimes, then it's all good. But yeah, as far as pressure flights, I'd say that was probably, of the 5 we have, that's probably the most pressured flight of all of these.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I would have flown through their legs, though.
Oh, here we go.
Just saying.
No, actually, I'm glad.
What do you think he's flying? Is he flying a 95, or is he flying a ducted squirt?
I looked for the shadow, and it looked like a squirt.
It looked like a squirt? All right, yeah, you could definitely do through the legs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, great work by Clark. Always a big fan of his work. But on to the next one. Somebody we know, all of us, very well. AirJourdan FPV. Jordan Gomez. Jordan. Why did I just screw that up? I talk to him every day. Jordan Gomez. With this flight around Subaru driver Andreas Bakkerud. It was out at a local place here in Minnesota. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we're going with that because it's
yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. It was Travis Pastrana's car, if I'm right. Is that correct, Fluxy?
Yes, there was a 199 on it.
Yeah.
So I love that car.
It is a sexy car, and he had the biggest thing with this one is we know Jordan, and you know his specialty are these races and chasing cars. This one was a little different because of how perfect he had his settings on his GoPro. I'd say, you know, like he took some screenshots from that looked like a video game, you know, or even some of the shots looked like a video game. They were crispy. Great. I mean, I just like that he realizes what he's one of the best in the game at, and he keeps trying to perfect it, you know, and we all see it almost on a weekly basis. And I'm glad some of the world, I saw Travis Pastrana did share that the other day, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it makes it where, like I told Jordan, you know, you might not be rolling in the dough, but when you see that your work is being seen by the best in the industry, that means something as well.
you know, and you said something earlier that really I want to say again, because you got to make the most of your opportunities, and Jordan 100% is capitalizing on every single one of them, and is great. And I think in one of the first episodes I recorded with you guys, we spoke about how he was sponsored by DRP. And seeing what he did, I remember Jordan about a year and a half ago, maybe 2, we met, you know, through social media, and seeing what he's doing now is just, I'm looking at the video now, it's unbelievable, you know, like it's incredible. He's doing like there's a certain art to chasing a car. It's not just, all right, let me get behind it. No, you know, and you got to capture him from one side, get close, let it go far away, and smoothing it all out. And Jordan just killed it on this video. Wow, I'm very, very impressed. I like it. Very good.
Flux.
Yeah, so some of the stuff that he did here, I'm not sure how he did it. I think it might be edited in post, you know, the motion blur stuff with the GoPro, because it looks like really nice. Really, really good, you know? But other than that, yeah, just his flight, the length of them, being able to cover the whole track, keeping the car, like the subject in the camera the whole time, like what he's doing is not easy. And you can tell, for one thing, it's all shot at golden hour, like the perfect lighting. So this was also probably a little one of those situations where, like, I got to get this done right now. I don't have many takes at this, you know?
Yep.
Because, like I said, the lighting is perfect. The colors, it looks like a commercial. It doesn't look like something that, you know, a normal person just makes.
Yeah, fun. It looks like a big budget commercial. Yeah,
exactly.
Bro. Like Subaru could 100% use that for their commercials.
Yep.
And I think, so I'm glad you brought that angle up, because we do a top 5 every month. Number 6 that just missed it was by our boy Martin from Fly Life Co. He did another drift. I just felt like if you had to choose one drift or another, you have to find one that looks different. I think Martin was shooting on a Komodo, so it looks crispy. Like it's sexy.
So it's an Octo for sure.
Yeah, and he made that look great. I think the only difference was that Jordan, like you said, whether he had GoPro settings, whether he did something in post, made this look like a commercial, and he used his FPV skills to do it. I mean, that's the thing. I did want to give Martin and Fly Life Co a shout out, because his was epic as well, you know. So
besides the flying, man, the audio of the car was perfect. You could hear it going out, and there's nothing.
Can't forget about that.
I'm a sucker for Subaru WRXs, STIs, all those. They're amazing. So like just hearing it and seeing it go away, come back, and Jordan just capturing it, really, really, really impressive. I'm very, very impressed by the video.
Yep. It's going to be tough for him to beat that one. Let's just say that. I know he will. You know, he likes
he will. For sure.
But that one should live on for a little while. All right, next, a familiar face to all of us as well. I mean, these guys, here's the thing. These guys don't want to just win once or win twice or win the weekly awards. You know, we're setting a precedent here, I think, with these contests, and they want to one-up it. Just like I just said about Jordan's. Will he beat it? Of course he will. Pecan, a couple months ago. This is our next video here by Pecan 3.14, which is Pecan Pie, which if you haven't seen his new little graphic he puts at videos.
Just remembered that.
That is unbelievable. Like, watch the opening sequence in this millions of times, because he has a cool little pie graphic that comes up.
That's hilarious, because I saw Pecan 314 and I was like, is that like the episode?
Nope.
Is that the number in the series?
Pecan Pie.
Oh, it's hilarious. I love it.
But Patrick, Pecan, whatever you want to call him, a couple months ago had that video where he coordinated the paraglider to the biker that won, and it very deservingly won. We saw more of his creative side in this one. You know, that was more of like talent. This was all around creative. It was definitely a reel from out in his area of the neck of the woods, neck of the mountains, in Montana there. And he did some cool, the biggest thing with this one was we haven't seen a lot. There was a lot of cool graphics in this one. And I know, Fluxy, that's what catches your eye. I think Juan as well. But Flux, I know that is a huge part of when you watch videos, what catches, like what's some good old eye candy right there.
Yeah, so I have to say it's been a really long time since I've watched a video and like gotten chills watching it.
Yeah.
But watching this, like after he does that first transition with like the smiley face and the little After Effects stuff, wiping across. I was like, whoa. And then you hear Biggie and it like starts coming in. It's like, dude. It was like one of the best reels I've ever seen in a long time. It gave me the chills straight up. Everything, the editing with the music, you know, it transitions perfectly from super cinematic stuff to more action stuff. The action transitions with the skiers and the snowboarders like nothing I've ever seen before. I've never seen transitions like that on like the same slope almost. It makes it look like he's on the same jump and there's multiple people on it. Like that means he's got the same shot at the same angle and he's like masking these over the top of each other. He is doing some like real magic stuff that I've never seen with FPV. I've never seen any transitions like that or that kind of masking or anything like this. And I'm just blown away.
The thing, Juan,
it's really good.
Yeah, go ahead, Juan, actually, yeah.
Oh, what I was going to say, that it's really good. And something we really don't touch on that much is the post-production. And you could tell that Patty's got he's got his ducks lined up correctly, because I personally haven't seen there's been After Effects on FPV. There has. I'm not going to say there has. You know, there's been gold things that people go through and stuff like that. But this is like on a whole different level. He has Biggie. I mean, you guys, you can't go wrong if you put Biggie on one of your videos. And then it's just correct. It's just coming in at the right time when he goes over the balloon and he puts the little After Effect on the glasses. It's just like, oh man, like that looks good. That boy good.
Yeah. The funny thing about this is that, and I didn't even realize it until about the 10th time I watched it, these are all clips we've seen from him throughout the year. We've seen the ski clip. We've seen the paraglider. We've seen the balloon. I believe the balloon. But for sure, the skiing stuff, like, that was good in itself. That won a Red Bull contest a few months ago. You know? Like, the kid, he gets it. And I remember the day. And it's really cool to see progress of these pilots. And Juan, you're starting to see it with Patty, too, since you built him his drone a couple months ago now.
Oh, that'd be interesting to see if any of this was with the Apex. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, you should. But I mean, that's the thing. I talked to him after that, and he said, "Dude, I talked to Juan. I'm so like excited for this little relationship here." Flux. He mentions you all the time and how instrumental you were getting him in. So that's what I love. And the AirVuz as a community, we're a community-based thing, but a community-based community. I don't know, but
it works.
But no,
I
mean, it's so cool to hear that, because these are guys that are passionate about the hobby, about the sport, and about the industry, and that's so cool to see. Patrick, keep it up, man. Once again, it's gonna be tough to beat it. I'm sure you will down the road, but it was just another one where pretty sick.
But that's crazy you say that right now, because we said the same thing about the paraglider, that he caught the biker on the road, and I mean, here he comes 2 months later, and we're like, oh my God, he did it again, you know? So like,
I just want to know how long he spent on these transitions. Can like some point in time in the future, can we get like a number for that?
Yeah. Have him on, a little like blurb of him on next time.
Yeah, because there's like, seriously, if you watch and rewatch it over and over and over, I watched some of the transitions like slowly over and over. Like those are custom transitions that like are swooping in, that are actually the shape of the next person, like the next subject.
Yep.
So, like, it does not compute it.
So, Patty has a background in editing, in production. But he even admitted he had help creating these transitions. So, I'm sure he implemented them. But, yeah, I think some dude reached out to him and said, your videos are sick. I think you should try some of this stuff.
That's awesome.
And then he got it and put him in the right spots. And next thing you know, he created this little masterpiece.
That's so cool,
good, man.
Dude.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it was really, now as we talk about it, I'm just remembering and going through the whole thing, and it's really good.
Yep. No, great work by Patrick once again. Tough to beat that one. Next up, though, there are two more, and there are two more amazing ones. We talk about editing, dude. This Metro runner ran away with social media last week. Like,
word. This was like the Jay Bird bowling alley video.
It was. And this one, but the difference between that and this is that the editing in this one was mind-blowing. Like, it's one of those things that's almost on a loop. You don't know where it ends. If it didn't like end on your screen on AirVuz, you could watch this thing over and over and over and over and over, and it looks all like one big shot. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. It was fun. It was sweet.
The crazy thing is, though, is that like this is super duper simple with the technology that we have in 3D cameras. Like, Like, this is not very difficult. Granted, like, the creative mind to transition from one clip to another with the side of the train makes sense, and it's like it totally meshes together perfectly, and you don't even notice that it's another clip. But it's like, we just need to use the tools that we have. This stuff is this is just someone, you know, taking something and putting it to use and showing us that it's not just about getting your little tiny world pictures. So, you know,
and listen, it had it
in Chicago.
I did, but it, like, there's so much more that we could do with this stuff, and this is just a prime example of, I think, the right equipment, obviously the right drone to have the camera mounted, and just using it for its purpose and using it well.
I mean, I'm assuming that has to be a 360 cam on a whoop or something of that nature, you know? But if you really come down and think about it, you could do this with your iPhone. That's why when I first saw it, like, I thought it was somebody running, chasing him, and then, you know, like him following him. But look, it's a drone. It's incredible.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I haven't been this amazed at the videos in a while. Let me tell you, like, they're really good.
We always say, sorry, Andrew, this one went too long, but sorry, Andrew, this one's going too long. Dude, it's going to be a fun edit for you.
Yeah. And
I think,
and I love that
Andrew, like, come in once in a while and just talk, because he does edit all these. Everyone asks, I'll let you talk in a second, Fluxy, but everyone always asks, like, after Pilots to Watch every week, who edits this stuff together, because he finds the perfect timing in these clips to make the little reel. It's Andrew Ochter. Follow him on Instagram and on AirVuz, of course. Like, his stuff's crazy. He's a talented fella. But Flux, what's up?
I love that it's a perfect loop too. Yeah. And like, it'll just go over and over and over and over and over.
Yep.
I don't think people realize how hard it is to accomplish that. You got to end it at the perfect starting point. How wild is that? Watching all this now, I don't know who the winner is. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, and you think it's over? It's not. We got one more.
I'm not sure.
We got one more.
Dead honest. Oh man, let's go.
It is one of the craziest building dives I've seen in a while. We've seen some crazy ones. This is the tallest building in Europe. It is called the Lakhta Center in St. Petersburg.
That sounds about right. Yep.
And the pilot was angryprops. This dude has done some crazy stuff already. He only has 5 videos on AirVuz so far. Each one's a little crazier than the next. I like this guy already. Like, this dive, it's a nighttime dive, which would already scare me. And these colors, like, he's flying from a long ways away, it looks like. Or at least the drone starts a long ways away. And then he goes up this tallest tower, and you get the colors. It almost had, remember when Drew Drones came out with that one from, where was that?
Has to be Shanghai, maybe?
Had to been, yeah, but it looked almost like Tron.
Yeah.
It looks like that too. This is so cool.
Yeah, that was Shanghai. I remember that video now that you said that. Yep.
Yeah, talk about, like, making the most of where you are. Like, I mean, how could you not dive that thing if you're an FPV pilot?
And something I think that's very important. Obviously, you know, this is a level of production, but to get your colors so on point at night, it's not easy. It's really hard, you know? Like, you really have to know what you're doing in editing, because obviously if you got everything on auto, never mind. But most of these videos are not on auto, you know? These guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, that was crazy. Flux, you want to do that sometime? You want to go to Russia and dive that thing?
I do want to go to Russia and dive that thing, actually.
Okay.
I want to just dive, like, all the buildings. I wish that, you know, I could just do that, but it's not really something that you can just go do on a normal daily basis.
I think,
you know, you'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised. I thought I was going to get in trouble diving buildings in China, and people were just sitting there watching me do it with no problem.
We have some colorful buildings in Minneapolis that it seems like nobody's ever dove. Maybe we should just go do it. Let's just see what happens, Fluxy. I mean,
well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. Actually, I've got something lined up.
Oh,
it's even much better if it's permitted. Yeah. Because if not, then you'll get backlash for diving buildings with, you know, soft targets below you.
Absolutely. But no, this one, angryprops, crazy flight. That was awesome.
Yeah. Love it.
Work. Yeah. I mean, that was just a killer FPV flight. Really was. But those are the 5 videos. Like, we're done. We talked a lot, and rightfully so, because it was a crazy good month. Creativity, like I mentioned, some stressful flights, some amazing reels, cartoon car looking thing, and then an Olympic building dive. All right, guys, I was going to say, like, hold up who you pick. But after watching these, if we're all not on the same tune, one of us is getting booted off like Survivor.
Yo, dude, I'm telling you, like, I'm not. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking right now, and I think I'm going to be the one off.
Okay. If you are voting for, okay, we came down to 3. I'm going to do this. If you're voting for Megan Thee Stallion, raise your hand. Okay.
Ooh, wow.
If you are voting for Subaru driver, raise your hand. Oh.
Yeah.
If you are voting for Metro runner, raise your hand. If you are voting
wow. Okay.
for this is it. If you're voting for the building dive, raise your hand. And if you're voting for
yes.
Fresh Out of the Oven by Pecan, raise your hand.
There you go, Pat. We got it.
It was close. The Subaru video by Jordan was phenomenal. It was.
It was insane.
I couldn't.
It was beautiful. Like I said, it looked like a commercial. Yeah. But you got put up against something a little special this time around. And it's unfortunate for you, brother. It's unfortunate.
It did. But I got you, Jordan. I voted, baby.
As soon as this episode comes out, I'm sure our phones are going to be blowing up with you. And he knows Pecan too. So this is the best part. Like, and it's going to be good. But I love competition. I love maybe we'll, no pun intended, drive him to more success. But
good one, dude. You're getting really good at those. It's every episode.
I got to do something. Yeah.
I like it.
Megan Thee Stallion. That was another one that just is going to stick in my head a while, just because of how the heck did he get allowed to do that? That factor was unbelievable. Make the most of your opportunity.
I thought it was the butt cheeks.
Yeah, I bet that.
Oh my god.
Booty.
I can't. I gotta go now.
Oh man, this turned into one of those Facebook posts that you have to click over 18.
Oof.
Yeah. So, but no, Pecan, dude, we talked about it. And I mean, if we get some backlash from having a 2-time winner, bring it, people, because
it is what it is.
Video. Watch it and watch it again and watch it again and tell me that one and tell us that did not deserve to win the month. And if you think you can do better, come on.
Let's see it.
Let's see it.
I don't see why anybody would have a problem with that. That was a killer video right there.
Yeah.
And that's not it. I'm just, I mean, I want to see the best videos there are in the world, you know? So, and I want to see people, even if you're a beginner, I want to see those videos too, because I remember Patrick as a beginner a couple of years ago, flying, freestyling, learning the right way. Like, we want everything on AirVuz. We want to see it all, because I just blah blah. But the biggest part of the AirVuz community, yeah, I did. I just blah blah. But the biggest part, the coolest part of the AirVuz community is that you never know who's going to comment on your video. Is the thing, you know. It does bring that Instagram aspect when it comes to engagement, because now you can tag on AirVuz as well. So there'll be Nurk, there'll be Fluxy, there'll be Juan, there'll be Johnny once in a while, Harley Quinn and Willie. You know, like. The biggest names in this, some of the biggest names, not all, we know there are a couple that are not, but some of the biggest names in this industry are seeing these videos. So bring it, everything.
I'm not going to see them on YouTube.
Yeah.
No. And it's super funny you say that, bro, because I still remember how I felt the first time Willie commented on one of my videos out of the blue, and Harley. I was like, yeah, I made it.
They love it. Like, I love that they love it so much too. Nicole especially. Harley Quinn is like dedicated to sharing AirVuz content, you know, not just hers. She shares pilots to watch more than almost anybody, other than probably Juan, than anybody, you know. And no, but I'm glad. Like, it's great. It's great, and like, creativity is everything. I mean, I love. And don't think if you're an FP or a freestyle dude. We had Russell, I believe it was Russell FPV last month. Like. Just get more creative. Make the most of your opportunities. This one from the dive from St. Petersburg, dude made the most of his opportunity. So if you legally can do some cool or freestyling around some buildings or around some landmarks, you have just as good of a chance. That's my spiel. Also,
Facts.
I do want to announce before we end this thing, and before I say the old, if you think you can do better, upload now to airvuz.com. But we have
you said it already.
Yeah, I know. We're sort of transitioning here. Juan is still going to be – so the winner here will get the drone. So Pecan will get a drone built by Drone Racing Parts. Moving forward,
nice.
Juan, you are still, of course, going to join us here. Drone Racing Parts is still going to be a partner in this FPV pilot to watch every month and every week. But we want to see what happens when we go more on the camera side. So we got the new Insta360 Go's coming for the winter next month. And as part of a little bundle, I'm sure there'll be some swag, be some of that. But the new Insta360 Go that can fit on a micro drone, you know, like let's see. And you mentioned, you know, the Maze Runner or the Metro Runner one and how that was a 360 cam. You can get super creative, super easy with these cameras. So yeah,
absolutely.
Insta360 Go is the giveaway. The prize for what month are we in? October, as well as some swag. Maybe Juan wants to throw in some Drone Racing Parts little stickers or something. So. Anyway,
stickers for sure. Slaps all day.
Yeah, get that name around the world. So
absolutely.
And most importantly, Juan doesn't have to send the package to Russia anymore. So
let me tell you how happy I am about that because I love this part. The building and the shipping, not so much.
For sure. No, it's been awesome. I mean, it's been a great partnership relationship with Drone Racing Parts. And I mean, let's see where this thing goes. A lot of people are watching these episodes. A lot of people are loving them. And I'm sure it's probably because of me and not you guys. But, you know, it is
100%. You don't need us.
Flux, once again, a little promo for DRL. Make sure to watch Fluxy and the 11 other pilots in the Drone Racing League every week.
Wednesdays.
Especially my dude. Yeah. Wednesdays. Oh, nice. Good to know that, bro. Awesome, bro.
Fluxy has another
Glad.
new color.
I'm excited.
So, yeah. 3 years, 3 different jersey colors, correct?
No, back to my original jersey.
Original
colors.
one. Yeah, I thought so. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And the entertainment factor on these things are like,
dude, how's the racer this year?
It's the same.
Oh, same exact one. Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. So watch that. You know, as always, follow Drone Racing Parts and El Kui if he would like to be followed on El Kui as well.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. And then AirVuz FPV. And like I said, there is in the engagement side of airvuz.com, you can now tag people and they will get notified. So that's sort of a cool little thing too. Nice. Bring on Instagram and we do it better. So thanks, guys. Let's see what we have this month, and we'll catch you at the end of October.